The symbol is not a hemshech to it's a hemshech to what? Is just saying why the fact that it becomes Kemuhus Akli is not Berech. And this it gives a marshal like Seichel Nushi, which becomes Shalei Berech like the way it's in its Mokher, the way it's in the Nefesh. But the fact that it could happen and it could transform itself and change and become Taka Shalei Berech, why could it become Seichel Hamagushim Shilfierech Hameach? The fact that it could transform and become social Shalei and relate to something which is the Shalei Berech is because it's not Shalei Berech. Why is it not Shalei Berech? Because the Ayin of Seichel already begins in him. That's what we're saying. Right? Okay, now also, nice when Seichel Husamech Agashmi. Dit visrak mus dover gashmi. Dover ruch nit visrak mit sislovat. Because the seichel sham is already seichel, therefore it could come to the lowest levels of seichel. Would it not be seichel? No seichel wouldn't have meich, would never be able to grasp it. It would be like pshitas, but ruchni and gashmis. They have no connection. Ruchni cannot affect the dover gashmi. It's not in its world. The fact that it does come there is because some sort of seichel already exists there. The fact that it already is shaykh, therefore it could become shalei berech. So to speak, once it's chokhmah, it could go anywhere in chokhmah. It finds its way in. But if we would say that the Chokhmah only begins in Kalim, then we would have a question, or we would come to the conclusion that the Eir never gets the idea of Chokhmah. The Eir never becomes Chokhmah. The Eir stays Pshitas. Kil Yochel. We'll call for our... Anything can happen from it, but not that it's demonstrating, it's relating, it's Mechayiv the Ayin of Seichel. It's thinking on this way. Fakir, it stays Pshitas.
The color Kalim.
The color and Kalim, whichever they go for. The fact that the color could affect the air, that would show that there's something in common, that they're the same world. But over there, it stays with Pshitusi. This will be true even this mashal also, because even after that it's changing and transforming, it's still Shalei Berech, still Poshut. It's still Ruchni, it's still Shalei Berech, the Meich Hagashmi, and the mashal of the Seichel and Meich. And the same thing in even Nefesh. It's sport nafshiyus. We say, in the person, we say that the person understands. So do we say that there's a koyach of the person that's getting involved in understanding, or we say the nefesh is mischakim? There's a nefesh involved. It's not just someone's going to say, I heard this idea in shul. I heard the idea was. You're going to say this and this person said it. It came out. There was a Odom Muhammad Abir. There was someone who related the idea. It wasn't. There's the nefesh ha-mischakib, the nefesh ha-mischasid. It's not just... That means even once it becomes a mahus at Shiur, it's still connected to the pshit. But that's not the side he wants to show here. And this Maimon he wants to show fakir, that it becomes... It itself is machayidin of seichel. Commission as Barlow was so shame vihil, shenas etzlem hasvor bebchinas chesed gvura mamash. Shasibul zehu bebchinas chesed gvura behelm shesh besor sarav. Because it already began. It's not they put it tziyurim. The tziyurim existed already by the Rab. Nor by the Rab was even poshut. And when did it come in articulated in a way that it's mechayev chesed and it's a stira tegvura is only when it came to clear of Hill and Shammai. V'chein hu b'chochmi lo l'gab b'chochmas timoah. The same thing is also in regard to Chochmah L'gab Chochmas Timoah. That the fact that it comes into Chochmah L'Loah is because that Chochmas Timoah also shaykh to Chochmah. But it's Shalei Berech.
So that original Seichel actually has both.
Yeah. That's what he's saying in last. That the Sibba says Chalfus is not because the Kalim is putting on to the. It's already the Eid itself on the Shaykhs. That touch Echlifu Duch Tayu, the Eid Chesed V'Kliag Word, that the Eid itself is Mechayev Chesed.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we're saying in Pshitas in order because it has both.
It could go anyway.
It could go either way.
Right. That's the Eid. Or the Mayim, it could go 90, you could go make it any way in direction.
So that actually shows on the Pshitas.
But it's not Glat Pshitas. It's not Amitis Pshitas. It's not Mushal from any Tziyur. anything can happen, because then it wouldn't be able to relate to a certain articulate way of being. That means the chesed word that it has is a part of its shleimusi, so to speak, that it contains this and this could go any way. Of course, over there it's not carrying, so to speak, as defined existence as chokhmah, chesed, and gvura, each one in a separate.
Okay, so it's all derech that we say l'mashal by the Eivshir, we say tzad shleimusa bekula. So he has a keich b'gvul, keich b'otri, whatever.
Sure.
So the same thing really over here.
Yeah. You can't say he's missing it but if this is his maila, that they can't say he's missing it, and therefore he has it. So although moving that the way he has it is not the way it's coming down to articulate way, because there's two ways to say that someone contains chokhmah. Like we mentioned all the time, that you can have chokhmah as or let's say a chokhmah in proti. You can have it two ways. Someone could be a carpenter, or he could be a carpenter because he's a carpenter. That's his trade. That's what he's capable of doing. That's his cake. That's his ability. Or you could say that he has nothing that he can't figure out. We'll come to carpenter, he'll figure that too. So there you can't say that it's mitzius of carpenter. That's mashla mitziusi. That's not defining him. He is the in of chokhmah, the etzem of chokhmah. Wherever it will go, wherever in of chokhmah is going to be, it's going to come to relating. It's going to be there. So it's not. See, he has it, but not as a defined way. It has it because anything is there. So that's one way of pshita, so to speak. That we're saying that it didn't come to a defined way of chokhmah, but that's his, so to speak, is a flow of the kimaila that any chokhmah could come from it, any defined.
So it's all a potential thing.
It's a potential, true potential, but potential, that's the ultimate existence.
But
and when
the fact is that in Giluyim,
what makes the difference is only mitzias.
No, I'm saying, but in Giluyim, that's the way it has to be. There's no real pshitas. There's no absolute pshitas
in Giluyim.
The only real pshitas is the Eivshir himself, which is higher than everything.
Yeah, then you're taking it. But let's even go a step higher. That not that because he has to have it, so to speak, because he's mushlim and he has everything. Who needs shleimus? The whole idea of shleimus is a definition, it's also, I can't say he's missing. What do you mean? Who says there's something to be missing? In our world, this is a shleimus. This whole thing is a creation. This whole thing is a reingestalt in Shiur. That Shiur is Ayin. There's no such thing as Shiur. The Eivshir tackles a mitzvah pshitas. So over there, it's a different teichen. That there's no teichen to have a mile that it can have anything. Also this. He has no definition. There's no advantage by gaining by having all this different esekeches. Esekeches are yiride. No, but then since Einim Mugner B'Shum Geder, he has no definition. Therefore, he has anything. So then the teichen of the things is not because what they are. Fakir, because there's nothing that I could say that he doesn't have. He'll have it. It's because I hagdore. It's al derech. In other words, you're going to make the difference of bli gvul and bli geder. Bli gvul means the mile is, his definition is that he has everything. Eini mugbal, that he has everything, all the miles. Then there is bli geder. It's not that he has the miles because that's what his makeup is. That's his shleimus. He has no definition, and therefore I can't say he doesn't have it. Because if I'm going to say, so therefore the way it's going to make also different. The Eifin HaMetzius shall hadover, and that's from that pshitas will never become the kelim, so to speak. That had to have the yidid, therefore had to come eis shel fi erech hakelim, which means that there's an inyan in this of having chokhmah. And then once it mislavish kelim, it became mamish inyan of chokhmah. But to come takaf mitzvah pshitas, it would never take or be mitzvah. Was pshitas mitzvah? What such what am I missing here? It's the inyan of chokhmah is only because Einim Mugder B'Shum Geder, not because he has al milas. Because I can't define him in any case, and that's the teichen of everything. So if we would be able to see what Be'ez Hashem and Zan the Karav Ma, we'll see everything. What is everything? Einim Mugder B'Shum Geder, and that's that mitzvah of everything. Even our Geder, at the end of the day, it's even that. This is also going to be included in this. That the Teir Chiyuvi of Chochmah is also because Einim Mugder B'Shum Geder. The Teir of Mitzis is also because Einim Mugder B'Shum Geder. So really, even the Yesh, even the Mitzis, is weiter all part of this. This is just to say how we can see it differently. But what we're saying over here is that Chochmah Stimon, the fact that it has a Keach of Chochmah, attack over there, it's not a Tziyur of Chochmah, but it's because he can't say he doesn't have it, so to speak. Muzar haben das. Nefesh. The Nefesh is Shalom Atach Shleimus. Of course he has Seichel, and the way Nefesh has Seichel. But over there, it's not a Tziyur dik Seichel the way we have it. It's Nafesh, the way Nefesh explores bleak dormit. But it's in of Seichel. Therefore, it comes down into Seichel Mamish. Because he has Sof, he has an in of Seichel. There's a mile of Seichel. Therefore, he'll cater according to every place, according to what it can handle. He'll come down to Kliya Chochmah even. It's the same thing. That it's Shalei Berech, but it has a Sheikhs to it. Now he's going to say, we're going to take the moshel of Chochmah Stimol Gabe Chochmah Yelo, that it's a Sheidish Chochmah. It's Chochmah, but it's Pshit, Gabe Chochmah Gluya. Kumei, like we said before, Shtei Kach Ola Chulu. She'ein Lez Amokim Klal B'Chochmah Gluya. It's so beyond Chochmah Yelo. That does make sense in Chochmah Yelo, Chochmah Gluya. Hagam Shel Chochmah Stimol Yeshel Zatam. And the reason for this is why doesn't it make sense? Vu Mipnei Shatam B'Chochmah Stimol Yelo Mayla Matam Gabe Chochmah Gluya Chulu Kanal. It's considered Mayla Matam. Kumei Kein B'Chnasei the Chochmah. Even the Eir HaChochmah, it becomes according to the Chochmah, the Kalim has Chochmah, in Yoni, his way of Chochmah is not together the Chochmah, the Kli the Chochmah. Nesh'ina, so G'shlei B'etzem Hosei, Hainu, Mitzad Shorshim, Mekeli, what is Etzem Hosei? Take it all the way it is, Mitzad HaSherish. Befrat and air, this thing is very much stronger than the Kalim. What's air? Gili HaMoir. Once air comes to Kali in one way, in one hand, it's the Hepechin air. Because air is in Yon Legal HaMoir the way he stands in the Moir. Mitzad Shein air is in Yon Gili, to be Mizgala. There's always the two sides of the air, that's what we said before. The one hand, the air wants to go up Lamaila. Why? Because in Yon is Nord the Moker. So, Etzem Hussein, Mitzad Shorshim Kedei, Hochens Pshitus. Hainu kemilo mailo man asich vasogel Rabbi in asogel shel kli rak haidei kli nikne bo asogel zu. It's only that the kli now, because of the kli now also the air is seen in such a face, such a way. The reason why the keli could change him is because he is already shaykh to seichel. And maybe it would stay that way. So therefore, although on one hand the tzir already began there, and that's the source of becoming a tzir mamish, but if not for the kli, it would never be seen in such a way. Moving the in recht that kli legabe who harbe yiser in recht der slavish bekl gabe shoshim kedi. The Kalidic way of seeing things and the Eir's way of seeing things is even a great Enerech of the Eir Mislavish Blakli, which got the tzir of the Kali, the Eir the way it's beyond. Which L'chure, how can you say that? L'chure here it's only one step away. Here it's Kalim and here it's Eir Mislavish Blakli. And he's saying no, it's Shalei Berech. It's even further than the Eir Misgal L'gabe it's Shedish. Adam is Gala really is coming to Tzir Chochmah. It's ready to come into Kali. It's getting the Tzir. Still, it's closer to its Shedish than the Kli L'gabe Deir. Why is it? He says the Be'eram Islabish Arem Mashu Begeder In Asogas Akli is a Rak Mitzad Islabish Dakli. Why does Eir get the in of Asog the way Kali does it? It's nothing. It's not his fault, so to speak. Because he had to do it with Zulas. He gets involved. Once he's involved, he's involved. He's gonna start. Seichel is gonna start explaining the way Chesed Gvur, the way they want to take it. But not that's his inyan. His inyan is he relates to Shedish. He knows the way things are, the way it's inside the Shedish. The fact that he's coming and Tifur it is in a way it's lowering down the air. That the fact that he gets the tzir of the kelim is because he's already shaykh to this chokhmah. But on the other hand, from one hand, sagt er, v'zeis gufu, v'fishigam v'shorshim b'chinas ha'chochma v'eir u'rak ha'orim mimenu. The fact that it could get the tzir of the cave is because it's already shaykh to the yin of chochma. True, I'm chochma. Therefore, the air could eventually get the tzir of the kelim. But if air wouldn't have a keli over here, it would stay in the eif and asoga the way it's in the mocker. Aber wenn ich in der Richtung Kille gab er hoch, so bei etz mir asoga va chochma da kli, eine muss a chochma shel air. Mashenken air legabe shorshe air, wherever it goes, it's still herzach on their mocker. They take a dogma, take a shliach. Mitzadim, his mishaleach, he's always connected to his mocker when he's mocker doviklum keli. He has his way. He knows the emes of alakus the way he learned it by his mishaleach, by his mocker. Now he comes into a place that he has to relate to the people the way they never heard it, so he has to start thinking their way. But why is he explaining it to them? He would enjoy better seeing things the way he sees it, not to see the way the people see it. The fact that he has to explain it on their way is because that's the kavona. Or another step, why could he explain it to them? Because he's already shaykh to hasogi. It's not that he's shil the yin of hasogi. Sure, not their way, but he's shaykh to the yin of seichel. So even once he gets involved in it, and he gets involved because it's not a still to use it to explain it one way or another, because he's shaykh to hasogi. It's not Taichi says by him is not the yin from the ear, the chochma, the etzam and the shama, which then you wouldn't be able to find asius. Said chamosh. He understood it on his level. Take it. We're saying here, we'll speak to a guy that never learned to avert Chassidus. So we'll have to try to figure out how is that guy thinking and how is he taking things. We'll have to translate it to them. So it's going to be changing, but another hand we'll be able to change. Why? Because to begin with, we're taking it with seichel. But then we'll have to change accordingly, according to the Mekabot. It's a small child. But the seichel from the one that's giving it over, when his comfort zone, so to speak, if he's not for this cave, not for the situation, he goes back automatically. He goes back to the way thinking, the way he thinks things. And if not, it's a problem. If he starts thinking that that's it, then he changes over, because that's the saying the eif nasog of kli. If kli is says the zulas, that means mokre elemis, can't see the M as the way it is air, the way air sees it. It's opposite, even though the air is going to transform and explain it to Kalim, but that's not going to be the way air sees it, Batson. So therefore it's Shalei Berech more than the air, even after it comes to Kalim Lagab, it's Shadish, because in Yonei Batson never changed. Mitzadatzme, he never changes, so to speak, his Inyan never changed. But Emes, he's connected to Smoker and he sees things the way it's Tzadam Moker. So he says, this true not just in Chochmah, Lagabi is Shadish, and the way Chochmah, the air of Chochmah, and the Kli of Chochmah, this is true in all the areas of Asisfidus. So Kemei Chesed Lagav Dati came in, Lagabi Chesed Elam the Zoh. You have Chesed the way it's in Zoh, and the way you have it the way it's in Atik. Still, you can have a Chlifu Duchtayu, although that's it's shaded. But it could be fakir. It could change over. Mitamol chesed is going to be erak vura b'klei chesed. Why is it? Shebatika kadisha afal pishi yeshom chesed vura. The reason for it why it could change its form, that now it changes from chesed becomes vura, and it has both. Even though over there it's two inyanim, but it's not two inyanim. Omru lei smaller b'hayatika v'hakli yamin. There's no left. There's no other side. There's only one side. What's the side yamin? Gvura is there's both there. Therefore, Erak Gvura could come into Klei Chesed. Why? Because it's not a stira. Where is he coming from? If he's coming from Gvura as Gvura, then what does he relate to Chesed? But hey, yes, that really Gvura is coming from where? From Atik, and over there it's one unit. Therefore, it's not Heipach and Yoni to come to Chesed. His place, so to speak, is Chesed. His Sheish, his Emes is Chesed. He's not going against himself when he's coming to Klei Gvura.
So he's staying Gvura?
He's staying Gvura. And it's still he's comfortable to be explained that the Kabbalah Chesed is not hate Chutz Yosef. This answer Bechlal, the of Eiris V'Kelim. What's Eiris V'Kelim? What's the connection? Eir and Kelim is Chesed and Gvura. His Gili, this is Hela. How did they come together? Because B'Shor Sham, they really want the Kudah. In Sof Shlemus the Kudah. And over there, it's not two things. It's one Kudah. I'll tell you what it says over here. V'Hakal Yamin. Therefore, you could even go to Fakert the Kili. It's not the Fakert. Because Be'emes, there's nowhere Fakert. Because that's at Shorsha, this is Chesed. This is, that really we're working for the same company. We're working for the same cause. We're working for the same union. It's not a stira. He sees himself in the Klei Chesed. Also, we said before that the Eir Chesed is possible should be mitzvah in Chesed in the Klei Chesed. Why? Because B'Shorsh in Yoni is Chesed. Even though Shalei Be'erech still related. Why? Because in Yoni is Chesed, he'll find himself there. He'll come accordingly. So if the whole Havana, it's a major turnover. Till now we're explaining why is Eir Mislavish Bekeli, Dafkin his Keli, because he needs his Inyan and he wants to express himself. And here we're saying he's going Fakir. We say no, because Amitius. What is everything? It's one Shirish. B'mil, it's not a Fakir to the Inyan from his Inyan. On one hand, he's going to say Gvura because Gvura already starts in its market. He's not Pshitas removed from anything. He relates to everything. But the ways there's Pshitas dikaway. B'mil, it's not Heipach in Yoni to come in the opposite Keli. Because really, the way it's in the Shirish, he sees everything has a place for it. Therefore, it could be a Chlif L'chtai. V'kanal b'yisham v'hil shesh mekuli b'shamai because over there it's pshitus, which means that it could contain any way, therefore it could go even to fakert keli, because he's not a defined chesed, he's not a defined gvura, it's where gvura and chesed are together. Therefore, what's put together, one akud is mechayiv both of them. But maybe they could even go into a place which demands chesed, because he knows that really chesed not a steer to me. Chesed and gvura were both mechayiv to the one union. Like the two Chassidim, the Chassidus said that the Rebbe would tell him to give a kusha yid. He wouldn't ask any questions. The other Chassidus, the Rebbe would tell him to give whatever. Would tell him to tell someone off. He wouldn't have any questions. He would do it automatically. Because this Chassidus was in Yoni, was Chassidus. This Chassidus in Yoni is Gvura. But Rashab, they realize where are they coming from? From Rebbe, they don't have our way of doing things. The ultimate shirish, there's a place for everything, because the Moker is a place, a shirish for everything. Maybe he could even go to Fakir Tekeli also. He could go do